Hello everybody, welcome back to Max Reviews, and today we are going to be reviewing Pixar's newest movie, Lightyear, which came to theaters last week and has been getting quite a few mixed reviews, but mostly positive, so here is my review for Lightyear. Okay, so Lightyear is Pixar's newest film, and it takes place not exactly anywhere. It's a movie. We're watching a movie that Andy watched back in the 1990s, which is why he got a Buzz Lightyear toy. This is an interesting movie. We're watching a movie that is set in a world where there's a movie, where there is this movie, where the kid watched the movie and bought a toy for the movie, and that's how we got 4 movies. So it's a bit complex, actually. But actually, just in general, they just had this little scroll in the beginning that said this was the movie that Andy watched as a kid, and that inspired him to get the Buzz Lightyear toy. So it doesn't really need to be here. It's a bit of a something we've already seen before because we've already seen Buzz Lightyear. It's not entirely new like Soul or Luca or Turning Red, but it's still a very, very well done movie, I will say. The animation, of course, for Pixar is top tier in this movie. I feel like Turning Red might not have been my favorite sort of animation from them. Like, I didn't like the movie in general, but the animation was, I'd give it like 8 out of 10. It wasn't their top tier. Like, this is their top tier. I love the animation here. And the voice cast, I love Tim Allen as Lightyear. He does an amazing job. But Chris Evans just squeezes into this role, this voice acting role so well. And I 100% bought him from the first second we saw him. No shade to Tim Allen. He's an amazing actor and has done such a good job as Buzz the toy. But having Chris Evans as like the movie version of Buzz, it works very well. The action in this movie, the movie basic premise is Buzz Lightyear crashes a ship and he's got to save everybody by jumping through portals and stuff. A bunch of people, like everybody that I knew, my sisters, my parents, my friends, the person that I went to see it with even, did not think this movie would be good. Like everybody that I've seen, that I actually see in real life, thought the movie looked pretty bad. And I'm like that the trailer didn't really show the plot too well. It doesn't really tell you what you're really in for. They just tell you, Buzz Lightyear movie, check it out. And the movie, once you figure out what the plot is, it got me very interested. How is this going to work? So, first act of the movie, I thoroughly enjoyed. The characters, the animation, the plot, and the emotion are so good. There's pretty emotional scene in the first act that usually Pixar saves the emotional scenes to the final act, but here they saved it and they just did it in the first act, and it works so well. His relationship and what happens with him skipping ahead in time, it works so well. I love the little montage scene that we get. Well, it's not little, it's a bit long, but just how everything works with him, Lightyear, Buzz Lightyear on the mission. I really enjoyed it. The first act was just excellent, in my opinion. I loved it. The humor was great. The emotions were there. The animation was spectacular and just perfect. I loved it. And if the movie had been what the first act had been, the entire movie, I would actually really enjoy this movie a ton more. But then, second and third acts, not as good. The first act I just really enjoyed. I loved how it concluded, how it went. The entire opening sequence, just everything worked very well. Second act, we're introduced to quite a few different sidekicks and side characters. Taika Waititi's character, Socks the Cat, is given a bit of a bigger role in the second act. Middle sort of section here, where we're on a mission. I'm not really gonna go into specifics because if you haven't seen the movie, I don't really want to spoil it. This is one that I think if you're not gonna see it in theaters, wait till Disney Plus. But I still don't want to spoil it for anybody because this was a very good movie. So just you have comedic characters, which Taika Waititi in this movie is characters fine. I would expect a bit more. The other side characters, I don't really care too much. And then also, Socks the Cat was actually really good. The new side characters I'm talking about from in the second act, not from the first act, but there's a commander guy who I actually enjoyed quite a bit. Socks the Cat was so surprising because usually when you have these Pixar sidekicks, they're annoying. A lot of people have been saying this. Socks the Cat is amazing. I would say he's not bad. I enjoyed him. He had some fun jokes. He didn't have me busting out laughing as much as I thought he would, coming from the reviews. But still, solid movie, solid sort of second act here. It was cute. It was more basic, safe sort of Pixar stuff that doesn't really go out there as much as the first act. And then you have the third act, which the big thing with the third act is there's a big twist with the villain. I'm not going to reveal what it is, but if you've seen the movie, you 100% know what I'm talking about. I'd heard about the twist before I actually watched the movie, and I was thinking, I wonder what it will be, because when I was in the movie third act, when they did the twist, I'm sort of like, I have no idea what this is going to be. And then they did it, and I'm like, I actually enjoyed that. That was good and interesting and something new and something that actually works. When I first saw it, I was like, what is this? And then after they explained the twist and how it all works and the talk that happens after that, the dialogue, I actually sold into it and I really enjoyed it. It was a solid twist villain, which you don't usually get in Pixar movies. Well, not a huge twist villain. You got Lotso, but a sort of twist like this. And I enjoyed it. I'd say just how I'm separating them by acts is because they are pretty, not super distinct, but for me at least, they were distinctly different from each other. Enough that I could do them in this criteria where I'm criticizing not the good and the bad, but the acts. So the third act, how it concludes with everything, I really enjoyed. It wasn't as good as the first act. It was still sort of like the pretty solid Pixar stuff, a bit better than the second act. It's like the conclusion of everything. Enjoyed it. Had some jokes. Had some loose plot lines. And then there's 3 credit scenes that happen mid-credits and then after the credits. Funny thing, me and my friend, who we're both teenagers. I'm 14. He's, I think, 14 too. So we, out of like our theater was packed. It's the biggest theater, most packed theater I've been in since Spider-Man No Way Home. And we were the last people. All these little kids, there's legitimately like a huge Lightyear fan there with whole Lightyear shirt and everything. And we were the only people that stayed until the very, very post-credit scene. And, oh well, that's something to remember. So, just 2 teenagers were the last people to stay at a PG Lightyear animated movie when it was packed. But oh well, it was fun. So yeah, this is an actually emotional movie at times. It could be a good action movie. It could get a few laughs out of you. I enjoyed all the character. I don't think there was a very bad character. Buzz Lightyear is obviously the best, and then Socks was good, and then his teammate, I would say, and the other teammate, they're both very good. I enjoyed them. So, solid enough movie from Pixar. I really enjoyed some parts. Frustrated a bit with some parts that didn't go all out there, but they did a good job. So, I am going to give Lightyear an 8 out of 10. Solid Pixar movie. I feel like their new stuff, it's been pretty good. Like, Soul was solid movie for me. Really enjoyed it. Best animated movie of that year. Luca, good enough. I still had a ton of fun with it. And then Turning Red, of course, was a bit of a dud for me. But I just hope that Pixar just sort of keeps going on their new streak where they're just going to keep doing these good movies. These newer ideas. I feel like Lightyear didn't exactly have the originality as of a few things. It's heavily borrowing from Star Wars and a few other space things, but still solid enough movie. I would recommend it. Seeing it, like if you got younger brothers or sons or daughters that you'd like to check it out with. Solid enough movie. Pretty good one from Pixar. You could wait till you see it on Disney Plus. It's not one of their new classics. So that's my review for it. Leave your comments down below, your thoughts on the movie or your anticipation level of it, whatever you want to do. So leave them down below. Like, subscribe to Max Reviews. Thank you for watching. Braden out.